Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am ZBest. This is another video in the series where I break down all the missions in the new Sector 3 campaign. This one is BlackRock Vanguard. Let's get into it. Again, just to start this video like all the others, make sure you know what tanks count for the missions. You can make your life significantly easier, finish the missions faster if you know what vehicles to use and which ones cannot. Tanks.gg is a great place to check. You can also look in game. So if you go to all tanks, what you can do is go to roll, and then for Vanguard, assault, breakthrough, and versatile. Ignore the light tanks. All these other ones are tanks that you can use. So specifically for BlackRock, what you want to kind of see is what you can use to get a lot of frags or kills, or however you want to say it. Autoloaders are typically best. Most of those are in ambush. However, there are a handful that fall in to Vanguard. So these are, for example, the IS-3A, which is an auto reloader. You also have access to the VZ at tier 10 and a handful of other vehicles that are also very useful, like the Obsidian. So let's get into the missions. For mission 1, Vanguard, remember for 1 to 10, it is do it twice. 11 to 15 is only once. 1 to 10 are challenging. Honestly, 11 to 15 are significantly harder, but luckily you only have to do them once. So Vanguard 1, be the top player on both teams by damage caused and destroy 3 enemy vehicles of 2 different types. I just recommend a heavy that you are good in. If I am correct, you can use the Skoda for this. Go check. Yep, the Skoda T56, Project Ion. You can also use the tech tree. You can also use the TNH at tier 9 and the VZ at tier 10. So you do have some autoloaders that you can use through the Czech heavy tanks. So tier 8 is the lowest tier you can go. I recommend things like the Skoda T56 to pick up a bunch of those kills or be top damage. Typically pretty straightforward. Also, the can opener is very good for this because it just has a really good gun. You can go hull down. I just think it's a good all-rounder. You can also use a preferential 8. They also typically just get better matchmaking, but to be fair, most tier 8s now see all tier 8 anyways at a pretty high rate. So recommend tier 8, something that you're good in, and yeah, just do a lot of damage, pick up the kills. Autoloader, auto reloader, typically a little bit easier to pick up those frags. Vanguard 2, destroy 2 enemy vehicles during the first 4 minutes, or cause 2,500 damage during the first 4 minutes. I think the damage is really easy for this. Also, the games have been pretty fast, so 4 minutes is about the length of the game. Just make sure that you do a bunch of damage. There's a bunch of things that you can do to make your life easier here. Autoloader always helps to shout damage. Something that's high DPM, same thing. High alpha can help if you are trading, because then if you're not looking to have a ton of hit points at the end, but you've already done your 2,500 in the first 4 minutes, you can do some trading early on. You can also find something that's fast, get into a good position. I also recommend high tier just because you'll do a lot more damage quickly than, for example, tier 8. So 11 might not be a terrible place to do this. Vanguard 3, destroy an enemy tank destroyer causing at least 1,000 damage, or destroy an enemy heavy tank causing at least 1,500 damage. This one, I mean, you can do either one. Tank destroyer, of course, requires less damage. There are normally fewer on the enemy team, especially on North America server. It's been very heavy-centric and high tiers. A high tier autoloader typically makes this easy, or an auto reloader. Some of the examples that came to mind for this are like the ST-62, 590, Medved. There are also some tank destroyers at tier 10 that you can also use, things like the E3 and E4 that also a lot of damage. I think the Bliskowitz also counts here. Just going to confirm that real quick. Yep, right here, Bliskowitz. So you can also use those, which are fast and have alpha. And if you can kind of YOLO into some heavy tanks or an enemy tank destroyer, 2 shots and you get it basically. For Vanguard 4, destroy 2 immobilized enemy vehicles or destroy 4 enemies. This one, really it's anything because the destroy 4 enemy vehicles is not that hard. You can get it at a reasonable clip. Destroy 2 immobilized enemy vehicles. I did it this way. I was using an odd loader and kind of held my shot and kind of just finished them off. So that's another way to do it. Sometimes there's a bunch of low health and you can just push in and finish them off, and then you already have your mission. Vanguard 5, cause 4,500 damage to vehicles within the view range of your vehicle. This is just a brawling heavier tank destroyer and get into the fight. I mean, 445 is about where your view range is going to be at high tier. So most of what you're going to be doing is inside your view range anyways. So you don't have to be brawling, but a brawling tank is going to guarantee it and you'll survive longer. Vanguard 6, block 3,000 hit points of damage and causes 3,500 damage. This is one of the harder ones because it's a specific total. You can't only have a lot of blocked and a little bit of damage or vice versa. There's a lot of options. Can opener is really good for this one. It's pretty easy to get to 3,000 in the can opener. Sometimes it will be where you don't block anything, but there's other games where you block like 10k. So can opener is solid for it. The other one that I didn't use for this one because I didn't have it yet, the Taschenrad's pretty good for it too. Basically, you get it every single battle. Vanguard 7, cause 2,500 hit points of damage to enemy vehicles of your tier or higher by firing from 50 meters or less, or destroy 3 enemy vehicles of your tier or higher from 50 meters or less. In this case, I think the damage one is easier because people are always going to try to kill steal, especially with all these missions going on. You just get in the face of something. Don't try it at tier 11 because it needs to be same tier or higher. Here you're going to see a lot of tier 9 and 10. Doesn't help you there. Autoloaders, again, are probably going to be your best friend, but you can also be in a brawling heavy or something that rams. For example, if you can have the KR1 maxed and you ram into a medium tank, you're going to do over 1,000 damage. You do 2 more shots of damage or another ram and you're there. Vanguard 8, destroy 4 enemy tank destroyers or medium tanks, or block 2,500 damage while your tank remains stationary. This one is a little bit harder to block damage, even though it's a lower number, because typically the reason why people bounce is because they're trying to aim for like a cupola or a weak spot, and then when you move, the shot doesn't go where they wanted it. But at the same time, if you get something like a can opener or like an E3, 279, a Taschenrad, you just find a good spot where it's almost impossible to pen. Sit there for a little while. Hopefully something shoots you. Like the can opener, I'm pretty sure I just poked on proc and stopped and just was poking on proc for like a minute and no one was shooting, and all of a sudden I blocked 3,000 from a bunch of tank destroyers. And then there was the mission. I pulled back and just played my game after that. Vanguard 9, destroy 4 enemy medium tanks or heavy tanks, or cause 4,500 damage to enemy medium or heavy tanks. This one, the damage is easy, just your best tier, 10 or 11, that counts for this. This is the same for Vanguard 10. Again, it's block 4,000 HP of damage or cause 6,500. damage. The damage is the easier one. 6,500 is pretty easy in a 10 or 11 to do on a, I wouldn't say consistent basis, but you should get it in a session easily. Vanguard 11, destroy 6 enemy vehicles of 3 different types, or have total damage blocked by your armor exceeding 3 times your vehicle's hit points. This is the first mission that you only have to do 1 time, but it is also harder. In my mind, Top Gun is the easier one here. I'm pretty sure I just played a tier 8. The thing about, I'm pretty sure I used the Project Ion, which is Go T56, and that made it pretty straightforward. Just I stomped a tier 8 team. But you can do it at higher tiers. It's a lot harder though. Vanguard 12, have total damage caused and damage blocked by armor equal to or exceeding 5 times your vehicle's hit points. Again, you only have to do this once. Don't use hardening. That'll just make it harder. It adds more hit points, which means that your goal becomes even higher. Some of the ones that I recommend for this are like the can opener and the E3. You'll block a lot of damage. You can also dish out a lot of damage at the same time. It's not like one of those where you can do one or the other at the same time. You can be poking, hold down in the can opener, and be doing damage, or same with the E3. You'll hold down or be in a window. And the key with the E3, your HP is lower. Your HP is lower because it's a tank destroyer, so you don't have to do as much damage or block as much. So that's just a tip right there. Vanguard 13, cause 9,000 hit points of damage to enemy vehicles, or cause 4,500 HP of damage to immobilize enemy vehicles. I think the outright damage is easier, perhaps. I was primarily focused on the outright damage. I did it in the contriver, so tier 11. I recommend tier 11 for outright damage. 9,000 it's hard, but it comes quite often at tier 11 in my opinion. For Vanguard 14, cause 6,500 damage to enemy vehicles that hit your vehicle at least once. Keep in mind, this is retroactive. You can start brawling a tank. If you do 1,500 damage to that tank before they shoot you, if they then shoot your vehicle and they hit, they don't have to pen. If they hit, bounce off, or pen, or even ram, that 1,500 you've already done instantly goes up into the counter. And so basically go into a brawl, start shooting all of them. And worst case scenario, if one of them gets really low health and they haven't hit you yet, you can bait, either sacrifice some hit points or bait really hard to see if you can get them to shoot you before they go down. So it's another thing like that. Honestly, I think I did this in the can opener. It was really straightforward. As you can see, there's kind of a trend. Also, the Taschenrad is something you can do this in. Most things are going to try to shoot at it once, and then, I mean, even if they just bounce once, that's enough for it to count. Vanguard 15, last but not least, cause, receive, and block a total of 16,000 damage. I truly believe that this is really easy and straightforward in the Taschenrad. I think it took me 3 battles to try to do it because it's almost 4,000 hit points to begin with. So that you only need to do 12,000 cause and block. And it's really easy to block 5,000 or 6,000 in it. And if you block 5,000 or 6,000, instantly you only have to do 6,000 or 7,000 damage. That's all. So it's not like you have to have a huge game. I think the Taschenrad is the fastest way to do Vanguard 15. I'm not saying you can't do it in other things. When I was completing an earlier mission, I had 11k blocked in the can opener and 7k damage. That would have also counted, but those don't come around as often, so I just went for the Taschenrad. Hopefully this was useful for you guys. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below or jump into my Discord. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I will have the remaining videos out in this series in the coming days and weeks. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See you guys.